lot, and when he's played it, people are just like, ugh, I can't really beat that. So, okay, and if you take a look at a lot of the decks out there, you know, we take a look at the popular decks of the weekend, Elves, Goblins can definitely do battle against them, Sharpshooter, Tarfire, Siege Gang. There's Death and Taxes. You can go toe-to-toe with them. Actually, your favorite in that matchup, as long as you keep the equipment under control. And Storm, well, you can't possibly win. But if you fade that matchup, you're doing okay.
And it feels like against the lands here, you know, if they don't have an Exploration or Mox, and you have your Ports and Wastelands and a draw, that's a game plan.
You can win. And we're going to see if Brad can do it right now. So he's going to start off with a Mountain and the mighty, mighty Skirk Prospector.
Yes.
This is as honest as it gets, ladies and gentlemen.
No, come on. He sacks for mana. The 1/1 that sacks to get something +1/+1 is as honest as it gets.
Oh, the Sledder?
Yeah, that's honest.
The Sledder is actually a pretty honest card. Here comes old Skirky.
Like, this thing has facilitated some legitimately busted action.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Let's see what the fob's going to be. Oh, boy.
Oh!
The War Marshal now.
We just have all the 1/1s in our strategy.
Yeah,
here.
now this is... Eric Smith!
He's just he did that on purpose.
That's
on purpose.
I like Eric Smith quite a bit, but this is...
That was on purpose.
Okay. All right. I'm going to let it go. See if Brad wants to pay the echo on the War Marshal. Now he wants another Eric Smith token, I think. Yeah. Oh, haha. There I did not cause this. I did not cause this to happen. That's by the judges, the table judges' own volition.
Awfully suspicious.
I did not make a second token of me come on there.
Gotta say, little suspicious.
Gotta say, I like the choice. As here's a Cavern of Souls naming Goblin, presumably. Brad with a Tarfire, a Ringleader, a War Chief in hand. Looks like we're gonna go to the War Chief. And everybody's gonna come into the red zone now for 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage. On Tom's side, he does have 2 fetch lands and a Thespian Sage, and he's gonna sacrifice both of those fetch lands. Let's see what he's gonna search up here, because he hasn't really done anything that lands really does at this point. So Thespian Sage is kind of a giveaway that he's playing lands, but he hasn't actually done much. So it looks like he's gonna search up some lands to cast an Intuition here.
Yes, and he's got a lot of goodies to go get with Intuition. Loam Punishing Fire here.
That's easy to beat. Dark Depths Tabernacle, again, easy cards to beat. Should be fine.
Still anyone's game.
Yeah, it should be fine. A Loam. Is that I think that's a Glacial Chasm.
And a Teleria West. Teleria West to get a main deck Engineered Explosives or Zorian Orb.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or a land.
Uh-huh. Choose wisely, Brad.
I feel like he's kind of just got to give him the Loam, because you can't, it's all the same stuff, but you let him mill 3.
Yeah, I think so. I think you give him the Loam, you put the lands in the graveyard, and then Loam ties up his mana for the turn to cast.
Exactly.
And you don't want him to dredge either.
He gets everything anyway.
Yep.
So you might as well deny him 3 cards in his graveyard.
Glacial Chasm, huh?
And it's particularly bad to give the Teleria West, as he could, if he felt like it, immediately go with Searchin'.
Yeah. All right, those cards are going to go to the bin. McLeod's going to take a draw here. See what we find. Copy of Schadenport.
The saving grace here is no exploration effect.
Yeah. That's a big deal.
With an exploration effect, Brad would be essentially locked at this point.
It would be very hard to win.
As things stand, I think that Brad's still in some trouble, but it's not completely hopeless yet. It's the type of game where if he rips a Wasteland and can get the chasm off the table at the right moment, he's got a shot.
Oh, Goblins is my favorite legacy deck, but Lands is actually my second favorite legacy deck.
Really?
Yes. Played a lot of tournaments in Lands.
I would not have guessed.
I've won a 40 dual land tournament with Lands, and then I sold those 40 dual lands for $400.
What a deal.
What a deal. What a deal.
Was it a 40 Ravnica dual land tournament, or was it 40 revised dual land?
It was a 40 revised dual land tournament. What a deal.
$400.
Well, rent's not going to pay itself, Patrick.
You could probably do better than $400.
You think so? You think so? Maybe I could have done better. There's a Thespian Stage and a passing of the turn. Brad going to untap all those goblins. He's got a Goblin War Chief out there, Skirk Prospector. This could be a busted turn. as busted as it gets with the Goblins.
And pretty attractive to try to go for a big swing this turn because it's not going to get any better.
Bloodstained Mire going to get sacrificed.
You know, Brad's at risk of getting locked out or being pretty close to locked out at a moment's notice.
Yes.
So you just got to push as hard as you can this turn. And with a Prospector in play, some real shenanigans could take place.
It's going to involve our good friend Goblin Pile Driver to clean things up. Brad does have 3 copies of that card in his main deck.
Now, this is a card historically you've not been a very big fan of.
There are certain metagames where it is correct to play. You know, if you're in a combo-heavy metagame where it's not going to get killed, then I like it quite a bit. But if you're in a Delver metagame where there are swords and bolts and stuff, I've never been a really big fan. Might be time to ring lead. And it is. So take a look at the top 4 cards. A Lackey, a Pile Driver, a Wasteland, and a Ringleader. So Wasteland's going to go to the bottom. The rest of those broken Goblins will go in hand. See, McLeod's going to take a look here. And Brad has the ability to sacrifice a Goblin to Skirk Prospector to generate a red mana to play old Pile Driver. And that's one on the board for the old Goblins. Up a game here over Tom McLeod playing lands. Tom just did not get anything going that game.
Tom with the bemused raise of the eyebrows, too. Good old Pile Driver still doing his thing.
Well, we're going to take a look at the sideboards here. On Tom's side, you have that in front of you. Any spice over there for the Goblins matchup?
Not really. 4 copies of Sphere Resistance, 4 copies of Chalice of the Void, 3 copies of Crozan Grip, 3 copies of Phyrexian Revoker, 1 copy of Korakus. Really nothing to like here. Chalice of the Void, I don't think it's very good. Goblins has a pretty good spread of casting costs and plays Aether Vial as well. So unless you have it on the play on 1, I don't think it's likely to do very much. Sphere Resistance, much the same story. Crozan Grip, Phyrexian Revoker. I don't think there's any cards really to bring in.
That's because it's an unbeatable deck. As we take a look at Brad's sideboard, he does have 3 Pyrokinesis, 4 Thalia, 3 Relic Progenitus, 3 Crozan Grip, and then 3 copies of Confusion in the ranks.
Okay.
That's for your show and tell matchup. 3 Relics, I think, is the easiest place to start. A World exists where Thalia is okay, but I don't really like it on the draw in this matchup. Pyrokinesis not for this one, more for Elves and some Delver strategies. Grip is okay, but I don't think that's the way you want to go in this particular matchup. I don't think it's about keeping Exploration and Mana Bond, you know, Zurin Orb, Engineer Explosive off the table, plus an expensive way to do that, and then Confusion of the ranks again for show and tell, not for this one.
And the opportunity cost for bringing in all of these cards is very high when you have Ringleader and Pile Driver in your deck. You want to remain as Goblin dense as possible. I really like Relic of Progenitus, and I wouldn't go anywhere else here.
Yeah, I would board in Relics, board out Tarfire, shuffle up and deal.
Yep.
That's probably what I would do. And we'll see if that's what Brad's going to do here is he's up a game. But while we do wait for game number 2, we will talk about SCG Game Night. You may have seen the little wolf on our lapels this weekend.
Yeah, this is our February kit. If you've signed up, every week we send out a new kit with these pins and foils to give out at your game night. Sanctioned or unsanctioned, whatever format you want to run, whatever day of the week. Just get people into your store for some fun and friendly play. It's too late to get signed up for February, but if you want to get signed up for March, head over now to StarCityGames.com/game night for more information, or contact your Star City Games organized play representative.
I love my little wolf here on my lapel. This is the best one I think we've had so far.
Yeah, it's the one where you can wear it in public and no one asks you any questions. They just assume that you like wolves.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Like when we had the mammoth pin. The mammoth pin's sweet too. It's big. It's pretty funny. But someone who doesn't play Magic, who's not familiar, asks what's going on with that. Did not get any questions about the wolf pin yesterday.
Yeah.
People just assume.
That guy likes wolves.
Really likes wolves.
And I do.
Maybe works in an animal shelter. Maybe works for the ASPCA or some wildlife protection thing, or just likes wolves.
Maybe a Minnesota Timberwolves fan.
Perhaps.
It all makes sense.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways that it can go.
Game number 2 here between, you guessed it, Goblins and Lands about to be underway. These players wasting no time.
A classic legacy battle.
It sure is. I love it. This is legacy at its finest right here. Now, Tom's draw last game, not very explosive, not really showing what Lands is capable of.
Maybe not legacy at its finest, but certainly legacy at its most pure.
Okay.
What's your deck up to? I found all the goblins that I like. I put them in a deck. All right, cool. What's your deck up to? I found all the lands that I like, and I put them in a deck. All right, sweet.
36 of them.
Let's fight.
Yeah.
Let's see who wins.
Tropical Island. That's a magic card in Exploration.
Really bad news.
There's a Teleria West. Campbell will draw. Picked up a copy of Thalia.
Really bad news.
That makes it winning hard. Makes winning harder.
Exploration is Tom's perhaps best card of the matchup. Once he gets ahead on mana, it's hard for Brad to keep his head above water.
There's a basic mountain. Campbell down to 19, thanks to Bloodstained Mire. And there is Relic of Progenitus. That is good news for the Goblins player.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a hand with Intuition as Tom's major payout card. Loam as well. It's good enough that we actually might see Tom just relic it away.
Or explosives it away.
Or excuse me, explosives it away. Probably not right now because Tom wants to squeeze a little bit more out of that exploration, but this is a tough bind.
I feel like those make things a little bit difficult here on the lands player. In this situation, it's better that it's Relic than a card like Tormod's Crypt because of the casting cost.
Yes.
And it looks like it's a decision that Tom doesn't want to make in playing Engineered Explosives, the Sunburst on 1, but a decision that he feels like he has to make.
His hand does nothing until his graveyard is available. Yeah. So this is ugly, but I don't know if Tom has another route. And you can see, you know, with the way that he kind of smiled and shrugged his shoulders, he does the same thing. He doesn't like this, having to use a Engineered Explosives on a card that cycles while he has Exploration in play, but what else is he supposed to do?
Cavern Soul is going to come in. It's going to name Human, and now here is a Thalia.
Another squeeze.
All the squeezes.
Now Intuition next turn.
Yeah.
A little bit more prohibitive.
Fourth the draw.
Very lucky to rip land number 4 here for his Intuition. What are the odds?
And passing the turn back over to Campbell. Campbell will draw a card.
Listen, you can't do well in these kind of events without some timely top decks.
That's true. It's true. Thalia comes across. Taiga comes down. It's a second copy of Relic of Progenitus. It's a little more expensive this go around.
Still really good against Intuition and Loam, even at 2 mana.
That's for sure. And now here comes Intuition. So McLeod's going to take a look at 3 cards, give Campbell the option. Might be searching for 3 Loams here, we'll see. It's a Loam, a Thespian Stage, and a Windswept Heath. A very diverse set of cards.
Yeah, this is not a shabby hedge. I mean, the worst case scenario is Tom just gets a land with some utility, and he gets to get the Loam in hand spinning. It's really risky for Brad to say, okay, take the Loam and hope that he never finds anything to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I'm inclined to just give him the Heath, blow the Relic, move on with life, yeah.
This is fine for Tom because he has another Loam in hand.
Sure.
And now he has a Heath to get the ball rolling with. So a very savvy Intuition there from Tom.
Prop rotation to draw.
Tom made the pile just juicy enough where he got the Heath, which is a fine consolation prize given the other Loam in his hand.
And there is Glacial Chasm. So we're going to set behind that now. Now it's time to go Loaming. So Loam will bring back the Taiga and passing of the turn. Campbell will draw. Bunch of goblins in his hand at this point. Rishadenport as well.
Rishadenport's pretty nice in the spot with Tom having no way to cheat extra lands into play.
Yep. Campbell with a Goblin War Chief.
Like it.
You're a fan. That's good. War Chief, great card, so I'm glad you like it. Chasm's going to move up. Community upkeep will be paid. McLeod will have to lose a little bit of life. Time to dredge the loam. Zoran Orb, Exploration, Tolaria West. McLeod going with a more blue-based build of lands. A couple different ways you can go with this deck. Sometimes you see Intuition, sometimes you don't.
The Intuition does add a lot of consistency. You sometimes see land decks where they don't have loam and nothing happens. And Intuition gives you a lot of powerful ways to get loam going, punishing fire in the appropriate matchups.
Loam does resolve, getting into Tolaria West. McLeod will play a Windswept Heath and simply pass a turn back. Siege Gang Commander will calm down. 3 Goblins will join. And it's a passing of the turn. Time to dredge loam. Crop rotation, Tropical Island, punishing fire.
So do you think Brad, as his first order of business here, sacrifices the Cedric Phillips token or the Eric Smith? This is going to be a real test of friendship.
It really is. It really is.
I'm excited to see how this one plays out.
Tolaria West will be transmuted. It's time to go get a land. But what land will it be? It'll be Thespian Stage.
Slowly but surely trying to set up a Merit Lage kill.
Campbell will draw, I believe, a copy of Wasteland.
That is really bad news for Tom.
It makes life a touch difficult.
Is there a second Glacial Chasm that he can crop rotate for?
Let's see. Take a little look-ski-poo.
No, there's only the one. His crop rotation costs 2 mana. Plus, the Siege Gang is there. There's a lot of damage in play. Pile Driver in hand. Lot to like here from Brad's side of the table.
I think so.
Lands gets to this spot a lot against beatdown decks where it's holding on with just Glacial Chasm, and if a Wasteland comes off the top, the whole house of cards collapses.
Oh, well, there's the Wasteland. It's going to up to the Chasm.
And now this is a free spot, in theory, for Tom to crop rotate away the Chasm for something good. But I don't think he has anything to go get that matters in this spot.
Yeah, the only card I can really think of is Maze of Ith, maybe messing things up a little bit. And if Maze of Ith does come down, maybe it untaps the Siege Gang Commander, so then it's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage from the attack. 8, 9, 10, 11 would leave him actually not short 1 because he has to sacrifice the Windswept Heath, which would bring him down to 11 in the first place.
Brad also has the option of just porting a Maze of Ith if he got
Also
a response
true.
and then attacking for a million. So I think Brad's got it. We'll find out. It's good never to speak too soon with Goblins because you never know when things can go bad. But
Or good.
yeah, it's a lot of angles.
There's a crop rotation. Yeah, the search I had a feeling was going to be for Maze of Ith.
And I think that with a Pile Driver in hand plus port in play, this is going to be lethal.
Yep.
By a lot. This Pile Driver is quite a bit of damage.
Yep, there's P. Diddy. Everyone's going to come into the red zone. That's going to get untapped. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10, 11. That's going to do it. Brad Campbell's going to win this match here over Tom McLeod. Tom, it's okay. It's okay. Everyone suffers from a Goblin beatdown every now and again.
The perfect face.
Yeah. It's all right. He was in denial. Now it's acceptance.
And look how Brad, like nothing even happened.
This is just day at the office. This is 9th win with the deck. He had no buys.
Cool and calm.
This is just work as usual for the Goblins player. Work as usual for Goblins. 9-2 here in Indy.
It's an exciting time to be alive.